Hi you guys, my name is Rachel Stile. I'm the author of Running in Silence, and I'm here today with Erin Herrmann. She ran for Hope College and actually came out about her eating disorder this past year.
Yeah.
Publicly, she had an article come out about...
It was a wide range of things.
Wide range,
starting with bulimia and then ending with anorexia athletica.
Okay. Yep, so we're going to be kind of going into that today, her explaining her story, going through the recovery process a little bit. But some of the accolades she's had over the years at Hope, you just were the NCAA Division III champions, national champion for Steeplechase, and you took 4th at the cross-country national meet. So she's had some good stuff happening between it all. I guess first tell a little bit about your background with running, what got you into running, any of that.
Oh my gosh. I mean, ever since I was young, my parents wanted me to be involved in something, anything. And they had put us in every different kind of sport that there was. And I always did okay with them, but I don't know. There was nothing that I ever really loved. And then at my school, they allowed us to start doing cross-country in 5th grade. And so I did that, and I hated it.
Oh.
I hated it so much. And did everything in my power that I could to get out of it. I just did not like it. And then I stopped doing that for a while, and I was doing volleyball for a long time. And then I got to high school, and I joined the cross-country and track team, and I still hated running. And I hated it up until, like, end of junior year.
Oh, wow.
When I actually started to like it. But, yeah, my parents told me to keep going with it because they saw some kind of potential in me that I thought they were just lying about. But yeah, I kept with it, and then I ended up running for Hope, and I've loved running ever since.
Cool. So when do you think the eating disorder developed, or how, like, was it connected to running, or did it kind of start outside of running?
I would say, I don't really like telling, I don't love telling people about this, but I did a short period of modeling in high school.
Okay.
For a good portion of that, they had talked about body image and things that I should change, and that was really the starting point of me thinking about how I look, and things that I need to change and stuff like that. And then when I got to running, the whole idea of weight and stuff was in my mind. And then when I probably around junior year, that's when I became, that's my first year of being like the top runner for Hope.
Okay.
And I think that kind of pressure started getting to me, and my family was really excited about where I was, and they had talked to their personal trainer who was really big into this whole no-carb thing. And so then they were pushing this whole no-carb thing on me. And every research out there shows that runners need carbs. They need carbs. But I tried doing the whole no-carb thing, and it did not work out well. But then I'm not really sure exactly how it worked out, but food just always became something on my mind. And I knew that I had to eat a lot, because I was running a lot.
Right.
But then I would eat a lot, and then I would start to panic and think, I'm eating a lot, maybe I'm gonna gain weight. So that's when the whole bulimia thing started.
Okay.
But then I really didn't like that, but I wanted to have control of my weight, so that's when I started eating less and restricting myself. And I mean, I can think of countless amounts of nights where I would be really hungry, but I would just force myself to go to sleep because I didn't want to eat. And I would wake up in the middle of the night so hungry. Like my hunger would wake me up.
Yeah.
It was a really bad trend, but I kept getting thinner, and I kept getting faster. And so it just kind of was this terrible downward spiral. And then the anorexia athletica started to, that added on to it, which for people who don't know, that's over-exercising to kind of compensate for eating. So I would go to Bible study, and there would be brownies, and I would eat a brownie, and then I would think, I probably shouldn't have eaten that, and then I would go bike for 30 minutes. So it was just, a terrible downward spiral.
Right. How do you, did you feel like your teammates or anything noticed that things were changing with your food or weight in comparison to your times getting faster, or do you feel like this was really secretive for you?
People did notice, but no one really said anything to me until I spoke up about it. Some people would, some people wouldn't. I do remember having friends who didn't know I was struggling, and they would tell me that their parents would say that I look so much thinner.
Okay.
And I would just remember thinking, like, that's kind of a weird thing to, but
yeah.
Okay, like, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
But when I did decide I wanted to tell someone about it, people's first reaction would be, yeah, I've noticed that you've gotten really thin.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure what to say or how to say it. And I wasn't sure if this was a problem, but, they were glad that I spoke up.
Yeah. When was the first time you spoke up, and what kind of prompted you to do that?
It was probably maybe about a month or so after the bulimia started, because I really didn't like it, and I knew it was a problem. And I had a friend who I knew she struggled with an eating disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told her what I was going through because I was scared of what was happening. And so then she became kind of my, she was so great, and she was always there for me. And if I said that I was really struggling, she would be there for me, or she would make sure someone was there. And slowly but surely I would start telling other friends, and they were always just so supportive.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then I probably told my coach, I don't know when I admitted to him that I had a problem. I did tell him at some point my weight to see what he would think of it and how he would react. And he did. I do remember him saying that my teammates who were several inches shorter than me were that weight.
Right.
And that I needed to be heavier. But at this point, it was only a week or so before nationals, my junior year, so it was kind of...
Yeah, it can't change much in that span of time.
Yeah.
Right. What advice would you have for people? Because I've talked with others who are dealing with eating disorders in running or different sports, and they don't know how to tell people, they don't know how to tell their teammates or their coach or how to bring it up, or they're embarrassed because they're not at a super low dangerous weight, but they know it's a problem, sort of like when you realized that your bulimia was becoming a problem and kind of scaring you. Do you have thoughts or ideas on ways in which they can start opening up, or what they should do?
That's so hard.
Yeah.
Especially because how these eating disorders come about, it's so unique to each person.
Yeah.
How it develops and what they're really struggling with. I guess my biggest piece of advice would be to trust in the love of the people that they're surrounded by, and know that there might be people who will tell you that you need to stop, and that's not what you're going to want to hear.
Right.
But there will also be people who will recognize that you are trying to achieve something as a result of this, and they'll help you through it. They'll help you achieve what you want to achieve, or they'll help you see what you need to see in yourself, and they won't be judgmental about it. But I know it's a really scary thing.
Yeah. How did your coach respond, like, when you were very open about it with him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was always extremely supportive. And he printed out several different articles that he wanted me to read on the importance of being at a healthy weight and running and eating food and replenishing your body and stuff like that. And he would frequently ask me, like, if I was hungry, if I ate enough at lunch, if I ate anything at lunch. And yeah, he was just so great. And I texted him frequently. Frequently about just with questions, because I was worried. I would eat, like, if I ate a brownie and I would text him and I would say, Coach, is this bad? Am I going to gain weight? What should I do? And then he would come back with some kind of scientific explanation of how it's probably good that I ate that brownie. And, so that really helped a lot because my whole source of the eating disorder was achievement. I wanted to be a good runner. And so he helped me see how eating, it's good. It helps you run.
Do you feel like his advice and you improving with your eating disorder actually did help your running?
Yeah, I would say so. A lot of people said a lot of things and were very supportive, and Coach especially.
Yeah.
And I definitely do think that helped. But, with any eating disorder, you kind of have to realize it yourself for anything dramatic to change. But they definitely kind of paved the way to helping me realize it's okay to eat and it's okay to be at a certain weight.
Kind of going back to when you were coming out about your eating disorder, when you had that first article written up about what was going on, I mean, how did friends and family react or respond? Or like, how was it being so open about that?
Yeah, well, when I was having the interview, I had said one small thing about it, and then Dan Giordana, he did the interview, and he kind of caught my little, like what I said, and then he started asking me questions, and so we hadn't gone into the interview planning to talk about it, but then I knew by the end of the interview that was going to be that was going to be the main story, which is totally fine. I told him that was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, my family, because I was a little surprised about the interview, my family was a little surprised about the interview, and we never talked about it too much. I think they were happy that I felt comfortable enough to talk about it.
Yeah.
And they had said something along the lines of how they do feel that me being able to speak out about it could help others potentially with theirs. And so my family was supportive of it, and my friends were supportive of it too. I was actually surprised the number of people who then messaged me or came up to me and told me that they were struggling with it. And so I just had a lot of conversations with a lot of different people, and I don't know, it was surprising the support that I got from the article.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that when I started my website, I was like, oh my gosh, people aren't going to believe me. Because I was by then at a normal weight, slightly gaining a lot of weight. Getting so much support is like, oh my gosh, this really isn't as bad as I thought. If anything, it's better.
Yeah.
So just for any of you struggling out there, like if you're dealing with something, it's usually when you say something, there isn't too much of a negative outcome.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
definitely.
think. Yeah, a lot of support, and then you're also giving other people a voice by speaking out. Okay, did you ever seek out treatment or anything then?
I went to a counselor here on campus once, and we kind of talked about my whole eating disorder and how it stemmed, and it was really great and it was helpful, but it was towards the end of the school year because it all started the end of my junior year before track nationals. It was, the school year was ending, she wasn't going to be there anymore, and she had suggested that I found help outside of them. This past year, my coach really pushed me to go to a dietitian. So I did go to her, and she told me everything that I didn't want to hear. Like, I had to stop logging what I was eating, and instead of thinking about calories, I had to think about the kinds of foods I was eating and making sure that I was getting a good amount of protein and dairy and all those kinds of things in each meal. And it definitely was helpful because she gave me different snack ideas and stuff like that. But I walked out of it thinking that was good, but I don't think I'm going to go back. I don't really need that. Okay. And then actually just this past summer, my mom and I went to see a dietitian to talk to someone again about the whole thing. So I've gotten treatment here and there, but I've always really struggled with that.
Okay. I mean, I've heard that being a problem for some other people as well. Sometimes you just kind of have to find the right person to work with you because not all of them are going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because the dietitian I had was awesome. She's a triathlete and a runner. So she understood where I was coming from. Yeah. Personally, I believe it's a combination of things, because when I saw a therapist, dietitian, had the support of my friends and family, and then I was writing along the way, not just for book purposes, but like with a journal to better understand myself. I feel like the combination of all of that is I figured out a lot on my own, and I had a place to vent and understand how to put meals together. What do you think helped the most through your recovery?
I mean, a really huge part of it was during spring break. The team goes to Florida every year, and we were always doing things, up and moving, and so I didn't have time to log my food calories, and so I just had to eat when I was hungry and hope for the best. And my coach definitely pushed me to eat when I was hungry and eat enough, and my friends really pushed that. And I found that I just felt really good during my workouts. I felt fast and strong. I just had so much energy, but I was still worried. I was still really nervous. I was gaining weight. And so then when we got back from spring break, I beelined straight for the scale. And I saw that I didn't gain any weight at all. And so I kind of realized that I can eat. I can eat when I'm hungry, and it's okay, and I'll be okay. I'm not going to gain weight, and really I'm just going to feel really good during workouts. So that was a really big part. But then I think a big thing was just talking to people about it. Just always having a strong support system, people kind of checking in.
What advice would you give to others who think they might be having an eating disorder?
If you think you have one, there's a good chance you do.
So
talk to someone about it, definitely. Even, I mean, maybe you don't, but just speaking up and talking about it is huge. And talk about it with someone that you really trust. I just cannot stress talking about it enough. I just think that is so important, because you can't get through it alone.
Right.
You need a support system to help you.
Right, absolutely. What is going on today, basically, with your running? I guess maybe kind of describe your exercise, or how much you're running, how it feels to eat. Like, are you kind of still in the recovery process, or like completely better?
No, I'm not completely better.
Okay.
I'm definitely still recovering. It's been weird where I am now, because I'm done running competitively now. So now no one's expecting me to compete at a super high level, and so that stress is gone. But at the same time, no one's making me run. So I know it's okay to take days off and to not run, but I'm still I still run like 50 miles a week. Part of that does coincide with eating, because I do still log what I'm eating every once in a while, especially on days like today, Sunday. Generally, I try to take that day off, but my eating's still the same as every other day, and if I track my calories, then I'm going to see, wow, I've eaten a lot today, and I haven't run, and there's that red number there that tells me that I've eaten too much or whatever, and so then that would just really stress me. I'm definitely struggling with that, and my whole body image now that I'm not, even though I still run, I'm not doing hard workouts or lifting as much. I mean, I still do every once in a while, but not at crazy amounts, and so I know that I've gained a little weight, and I know that's okay, but just I'm learning to really believe that it's okay. I keep telling myself that it's okay, and
no, the recovery process is definitely gradual, because even when I started going to see a therapist and dietitian, I was like, I only need this for a few months. I kind of had the same mindset as you, as like, oh, like this isn't too bad, like why am I even going, or whatever. But like once I started going and realizing, oh, this is kind of an issue, and even looking back where I am now and looking back to the way I was thinking, that was so abnormal.
And it didn't seem like that at the time.
Because you're living it, and you're in your own head and going through it. It's your normal routine at the moment. Well, I really appreciate you talking about this, even like in the midst of your recovery, because honestly, sometimes it's really hard to keep talking about it. And I know the article that came out was still kind of fresh. It's just a few months ago. So But again, I feel like you speaking out about this, especially at the high level of running that you were/are at, I feel like it helps a lot of people. So I appreciate it. Everyone listening will appreciate it. And I just feel like you're doing really good things and you're on the right path. And
Thanks.
yeah, you got a lot of people who care about you. And all right, well, thanks for watching, and I will have another video up in a few weeks. Thanks.